Matt, this is your first game at Xavier, and you had a double-double. Can you talk about what it was like for you out there tonight?
I was very excited coming into the game, and I knew I wanted to, sort of hit the ground running and didn't want to be tentative or anything like that. And, a ton of credit to my teammates. They made it really easy for me. They gave me the ball a lot, and it was easy to work out of the post. Rebounding-wise, the guards rebounded down a ton. The guards did a great job of making it so that I didn't have to work extremely hard to get rebounds. But overall, it was really exciting for me.
How much have you been thinking about and pointing toward playing in that first game?
Oh, it's been on my calendar for a long time. You always want to figure out. So I'm sitting out this year. When's the first game? Who are we playing? Okay, cool. And it was something that I just couldn't wait for. Like, the student section is phenomenal as always. They're just great, and especially that we had a home game for the first game. It was wonderful, and now it's just looking forward to all the rest of the season.
James, did you feel the same way, that you really had this circle on your calendar, knowing that this is your sophomore year and you really kind of want to make an impact?
Yeah, I did have this circle on my calendar, actually. Last year, as a freshman, I didn't really play a lot. So this year, I wanted to make an impact. Like, what are they going to say about James Farr after his first college game as a sophomore? And this is the impact. I'm very comfortable, but I know I have much work to do. I have to improve, and I'm willing to do that every day in practice this year.
James, it seems like even just in the last few weeks, your confidence has been building. Is it something that's clicked with you in practice, or anything that's happened that sort of brought you along quickly over the last few weeks?
Yeah, and I have to give that credit to my teammates. They talk to me every day in practice, after scrimmages in practice. Hey, James, you have to keep rebounding the same way every day. That's what I've been niched for on this team, is rebounding. And ever since I've been doing that, my teammates have given me all the credit, and I just showed it out today that I can really compete and I can really rebound the ball. And that's what I did out there today.
You only played, I think, 7 minutes in the exhibition game. Tonight you played 13. When you got those first few minutes, did you kind of take that as a chance of, okay, here's my chance to earn a few more?
Yeah, of course. When you practice like so much as we have, you really look forward to games like this, and you really have to take unto yourself, like, hey, if I'm going to get these minutes, I want to do as best as I can to put my team in the best situation to win this game. And I just had that mindset, and, me and my teammates got it done.
And James has a great attitude towards everything. He takes every opportunity he gets, and a lot of credit to him and how he approaches practice and everything. And that's why we're going to be a really good team, is because of guys like him who, when he gets his chance to come in, he's going to make the most of it. He's not afraid of the spotlight, not afraid of anything, and a ton of credit to him for that.
Brandon Randolph, obviously coming into this game, you had a thin backcourt with D being out, and then Miles goes down. Brandon Randolph didn't look like a freshman tonight. Can you guys just assess his play and talk about kind of his maturity?
He's been great for us. He's kind of a quiet guy, and he has that chip on his shoulder. When he plays, he's not afraid of anyone. He's not afraid of anything, and that's what we need him to be. He's a solid guy who's going to come in, take care of the ball. He only had 1 turnover, and it's someone who we can rely on. You kind of look at him, and I see him as like an older guy. I don't see him as a freshman because of his demeanor, because of the way he acts and how he handles himself on the court.
Yeah, I agree the same way with Brandon. Really good guy. Off the court and on the court. He just wants to win. That's all he wants to do, is win. He doesn't care about stats. He just wants to win and be like the best teammate he can to everybody on the court. So too much credit to Brandon. He played a great game tonight. And he's practiced very hard, and he's done very well in practice, and he deserved to have this game tonight the way he did.
Hey, Matt, how much of what you did tonight do you think is a result of losing the weight and changing your body type?
I'd have to say a ton of it. It was where I could get past that mental block for me now, and before I had to get through the mental block, and I had to carry an extra 45 pounds on me. So that was tough. But yeah, no, a lot of it was being able to stay out there for longer periods of time, guard ball screens, which was really hard for me when I was a little bit heavier. And, it feels great to be at a pretty decent weight and not 3 bills. So.
Matt, can you talk about the first 6 minutes of the game? You looked like you got really frustrated there a couple times, and their 2-3 zone was giving you guys some trouble.
Yeah, it was something that we're going to have to work on, but it was tough attacking their 2-3 zone. We knew what we wanted to get out of it, sort of be able to play out of the high post, the nail area. But it was hard to get to at first. But once we sort of wore them down a little bit and were able to actually get the ball moving, we were able to execute a little bit better. And that's something I think we'll gradually get better at, is we're starting a little bit slow, the game a little bit slow starting off. But that, that's something that with experience and with a couple games under our belt, we'll make sure that we don't get down early.
One last question. Matt, again, the Miles injury was referenced, but also Justin got hurt there at the end. You're already playing without Landon and D. What's that like, just to be so shorthanded starting the season out?
You sort of look around, and the great thing is, it's not great that we have guys going down, but the great thing is when you look around, you look at the guy next to you, and you're like, you understand that he's a warrior. That he's been here all summer, he's done everything we've done, and they're going to step up. It's not sort of pushing anyone to the side, like, oh, they're hurt, next guy. It's like looking around, like, who's going to step up for him until he can get back, or if he's going to be okay the next day, we know that guy's going to power through, whatever might be ailing him now, but that he'll be coming back and he'll be ready to go.
It was a typical opener, I think probably for both teams, but our team, I thought we did some really good things. I thought we did some things we need to do much better as we move forward. I'm very happy with our rebounding margin. Thought off the bench, James Farr did a tremendous job for us. Be really good to see him be able to assert himself as a regular guy, and efforts like tonight certainly helped that. I thought Matt Stainbrook was the most efficient player on the floor. And we got a little bit banged up. We're a little bit banged up at the perimeter right now, but all in all, I thought Gardner-Webb coming in, they returned a lot of talent, and they had a really good year last year. So on to the next.
Do you have any update on Miles?
No, I won't know anything until over the weekend. So.
Did you know what is hurt?
Well, he just the surgically repaired knee. It's nothing structural. He just felt like it was bothering him a little bit when he landed on that when he got fouled, and so they took him back into the training room, and they can't look into his knee. They just ask him how he feels so they can understand the symptoms and what he feels, but they can't really give me a diagnosis until they do a little bit more testing tomorrow.
And in that vein, Justin looked like he hit his head or got hurt in the last 3 minutes. How's he doing?
He's a little woozy, so he'll get with the doctors, and we'll move forward.
Can you just talk about that, how the team was able to, I know Justin got hurt pretty late, but already playing without two guys and to have more injuries happen, their resilience and being able to win like this today?
Well, it wasn't a close game, number one, but I thought our focus was kept from the first minute all the way to the last. There were maybe a couple stretches, not very long, where we played like we were very, very young, and we lost that focus, but we quickly regained it. And again, we didn't have a whole lot of guys to bring in off the bench, especially in the perimeter position, and it's very fatiguing in game one. But I thought Brandon Randolph, for a freshman, was insanely good to go 7 assists and 1 turnover. He guarded their point of attack from the beginning to the end. Did a great job. Played 36 minutes, and then Samaj. I didn't think it was certainly his best game, but he was a calming influence. If he makes his free throws, he gets he gets close to 20. But we're just a little shorthanded tonight. But I thought those two did a great job of handling the basketball and running our team.
How much of what Matt did today is a function of him losing all that weight and gaining some quickness and endurance?
Well, you can tell his endurance is much better. Coach Carter, who was on the staff at Western Michigan, felt like when he coached him there, Matt couldn't play longer than 2-minute stretches, and that's not the case now. We have to be very selective when we watch him on the floor of how long we want to keep him out there, but I hope that as the year goes on, he can continue to gain stamina. He is, like I said in the opening remark, he's a very, very efficient player. He's a smart player, and we need him on the floor.
Oh, go ahead.
Away from the court itself and the game itself, this is a night that's been really long coming for this university. You're an alum. What did it mean to actually get this game underway, and now you guys are here in the Big East?
Well, our fans treat this program unbelievably well. The student section was easily at capacity. They make this building rock. And, for us, to be very honest, it doesn't feel like a Big East type game, obviously. It's an opener. we're very excited for the start of the year. But I would tell you that that's really no different every year. I mean, these guys have been practicing against one another for the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. They want to play some games, and I don't blame them. And now we have to make the corrections that we need to make after watching this film.
Was James's performance a surprise to you, or have you seen him kind of coming along here in the last few weeks of the preseason at all?
He's done a really good job in practice rebounding the ball from day one up until today. And there are some areas where he has to get better. But nights like tonight, really help cement him in the rotation, because if he'll rebound at a high level, it's hard to keep him off the floor. And the one thing James can do, and as a player you gain more and more confidence the longer you're out on the floor, the one thing he can do is shoot the ball. I think you saw that tonight. And so if he can rebound at a high level, continue to get better on the defensive end, like he played tonight, he's going to be a huge part of this team.
You mentioned Brandon's play. Can you just talk about the speed when him and Samaje were on the court, the way they were able to push the ball in, and how that contrasted with the way you played last year, and also his decision-making when pushing it in transition?
Did a great job making decisions, and, we tried to push the accelerator, and we want to. But how we started the year and where we're at right now might be two different things. And, I don't want to say deja vu, but, we've got a few guys down. So we have to be very, very smart about how we move forward. We still feel like those guys are very good in transition, and so we want to capitalize on that. But, we'll go back to the film and sort of evaluate our team. And, your team changes as the season moves forward, and we'll do what's best for this team to be successful. Thanks.